Well, hello, hello, hello. I am here. We are back. This is Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And I just want everyone to know on this episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out, we're helping you achieve your entrepreneurial goals. Our guest lineup, our guest experts today are going to help take you to the next level and achieve your goals with real strategies that you can use. And this is an incredible lineup of some powerful women, and I'm super excited. So stick around and don't go anywhere. Hello, I am back with another episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and today we are broadcasting across all social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitch, we're on YouTube. So if you're joining us today, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I see we have some users saying hello. This is Corey. He says, hi, can't wait, await another amazing show. Hello, Corey. Thank you for joining us. Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for joining us today on Small Business Saturday Shout Out. So I welcome everybody who is here watching this live. If you are watching on the replay as well, thank you for joining. Feel free to comment, even if you're watching on the replay, because we do go back in and read, and if you have questions and answer those questions for you. So feel free to do that. This is Small Business Saturday Shout Out, and we have a group on Facebook. So feel free, if you have a small business, to join our group. It is facebook.com/groups/SBSSO. That's for Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And in that group, we have networking events. We have masterclasses. You can promote whatever your business is or what you have coming up. You can promote it right there in the group. We encourage that because we want to kind of share the love in the small business community. So if you're a B2B, B2C, brick and mortar, it doesn't matter. You can be a part of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. Hi, Bernadette. Thank you for joining us today. So if you have a small business or you know someone with a small business, please invite them to join the group, facebook.com/groups/Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And speaking of networking events, we do have a networking event coming up, and it will be on the 27th of this month at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our happy hour cocktail networking event. So if you're interested in that, join the group, save the date, come on over. We'll give you all the details. It's on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are, it's on Zoom, and we get to know each other. There have been several people who've done business together because they've met in this networking event, and then they started collaborating on different business projects and used each other's services. So it's always worthwhile to come to one of our networking events. Sometimes it's a small group, which is great because we get to really have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun. If you know me, my middle name is Fun. We have a lot of fun. I give away stuff too, so there's giveaways, there's fun. It's really a great time. If you are over on YouTube or you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please head on over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Alicia Curry, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So let me tell you what Small Business Saturday Shout Out is all about. We are a community of small business owners, and every Saturday we do the show. Well, I took a couple weeks off, but we do the show on Saturdays to shout out your business. And there are 3 ways that you can get a shout out. Number 1 is be a guest, which I have 3 amazing guests today. You can be a guest on the show. The second way to get a shout out is to do a 30-second commercial. If you want to come on and sponsor one of the shows and do a 30-second commercial, you can come on. You can either do it live, you can send me a script, or you can send in a video and I'll play it for you. So that's the second way that you can get a shout out on the Saturday. And the third way to get a shout out is just in the comments. Leave a comment of your name, your business, and I will shout it out during the breaks between guests, and I will tell people about you, who you are and what you do. And that's the easiest way to get a shout out on a Saturday here on the show. So just leave a comment of who you are, what your business is, and how people can reach out to support you. So that is Small Business Saturday shout out. So another thing, just before I jump into my guest, which is coming up now, you can connect with me on social media. Connect with me. Go to alicia360.com, ALICIA. It's going across in the ticker, alicia360.com, and connect with me if you have not yet connected with me. I would love to follow you and connect with you and let you know all the amazing things that we have going on over here on the Small Business Saturday Shout Out Show and community. So this is an opportunity for you to get some exposure for your brilliance, so clients can discover who you are and what you do. I'm talking all over my words here today. So this show is sponsored by Red Carpet CEO and Alicia Curry Inc. So Sean Chambers is here supporting 10th Muse Enterprises, owned by his sister, Tresa. And I am excited to have you as part of the show, Sean. Thank you for joining us. Your sister's coming up soon. Nicola Cross. Hi, Nicola. So great to see you. I hope you can join our small business community. I've known Nicola forever. We won't say how long, Nicola, but it's been a long time. So now, without further ado, I am going to get ready to bring my very first guest up. And so stick around. She'll be here in 15 seconds. Welcome everyone to Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and my very first guest I'm super excited to have on the show. I've known her for several years now. Her name is Tresa Chambers, and she is a brand marketing and content strategist who has dedicated herself to helping entrepreneurs and artists execute strategic plans to connect with their target market. She has cultivated exciting platforms such as seminars, webinars, conferences, retreats, and live events to help her clients build their brands by bringing their customers to them. And I am super excited to welcome to the show, Tresa. Hi, Tresa Chambers.
Hello, Alicia. Great to see you.
We met each other. You invited me to a fashion event.
Yes.
Many years ago in Miami, and that's how we kind of got connected, and we've been following each other and keeping up to date with each other. So what is new with you?
What is new with me? Well, like you said, we met in Miami, but right now I am in Texas. I live in Dallas. So that's new for my South Florida folks, maybe, but I've been here for 4 years now. It seems like only yesterday, especially following the pandemic year and all of that. But I'm here in Dallas, and I'm really just focusing on kind of ramping up my business while I get used to the new area that I live in and get used to the market and the community here. So it's been great.
So you are helping with brand marketing and being a content strategist. For people who don't understand what that is, describe exactly or explain exactly what is brand marketing and content strategy?
So great question. So brand marketing is about helping business owners and individuals really identify what the essence of what they say they are about is, right? So People say all the time, a brand is more than a logo, and it really is. It is the story of your company or your persona that really lets people know that you are who you are, what you're about, and it is the consistent through line that goes with you, no matter what you do, no matter what products you offer. The brand identity of that is really the essence of who you are. And so marketing that brand is what I help people do. And then from a content perspective, the content strategy is so important. So thinking about what kind of content you want to use to promote your business, and where you should be, and how much content you should put out there, all of those big questions, because a lot of times people go directly to the tactics, right? You're like, I want to be in social media. But
no idea what they're doing. No
not
idea.
really knowing what they're doing, not really understanding the platforms, and not knowing why, right? Because people say, oh, I have to be on social media. Is that really true? It really makes a difference in terms of what your goals are, whether you are going to be on a particular social media platform or not, or you're going to be on all the social media platforms or none of them. You know, I have a lot of focus on business to business strategy in particular. And so there's different factors to consider there as opposed to consumer strategy. So those are the things that I help businesses identify and define, is thinking through on a high level what it is that your ultimate goals are, what are your big business strategies, and then how do you execute those? That's where you get into choosing your content, your platforms, and your markets. So that's
a lot of heavy lifting, of heavy lifting, because I used to help with branding work, and you're absolutely right, because it's all about helping not just you get clarity on who you are and what your message to the world is, but also having it continue having that continuity and that synergy with everything else that you put out. So it's what is your brand and what is the messaging, and are people really understanding and getting your message? You might think you're explaining yourself quite clearly, but then when you ask your audience, well, what do I do? They have no idea. So you don't have clarity in your messaging.
Well, what's even more important than that, Alicia, and this is something that is core to what I try to help businesses with, is to really get clear about who their audience is. Most of the time, when I ask people who their target market is, their answer is everybody.
Everybody.
Right?
Everybody.
No. And so, and then my answer to that is, oh, really? So how big is your budget? Because what we do understand about getting a customer is that acquiring a customer is about $60 to $75 per person on average. So what does that mean? If you want everybody, well, adults in America, that's 150 million people. So really, you got that budget? I'll work with you if you got it. But even the largest companies don't do that.
Exactly, because I think the misconception is too, you have a core audience, and even though everybody can probably use your product and service, you want to message to your core, to that single core, and then, you know, there will be collateral. There'll be collateral people that join in that say, oh, I like that, I'll try it, but you're not messaging to them specifically.
That's
so
right.
I think
your
this
primary
is
audience is who you target to. It's who you develop your messaging around. It's what you develop your images for. It is how you decide where you're going to market yourself and what kind of content you're going to have. That is what helps you define all of your strategy and even look at your tactics. It's really about getting clear on who that primary audience is. And then the secondary audience can come along, and the laggards.
And exactly. So this comment, I believe this is from Corey. This is amazing information, Tresa. Every business needs a clear marketing message. It's so true.
That's right.
And so tell me, I'm gonna just jump take a hop a little bit. What is your superpower, Tresa?
My superpower is really it is the ability to draw out someone's idea and help them make it real. And what I mean by that is that the reason that I named my company 10th Muse, it speaks directly to that, because Greek mythology, Roman mythology, there are 9 muses, right? So there are all these 9 muses that are different aspects of our creativity. And the 10th muse is really that person. Each of us has our own way of aggregating all of that creativity and manifesting it into the world and pursuing and doing whatever it is we desire to do. And so each of you is the 10th muse. And I have the gift of being able to help people figure out and really get clarity around what that central idea is, that if they haven't been able to articulate it, if they haven't really been able to put their finger on it, they spend time with me and they figure it out. And we work
I love
to
that.
make that happen.
I love it. And Liz says, love that company name. Absolutely, Liz. And because you have to find that through line too. You have to find what is, because so many of us are multifaceted these days. And so what is that through line that really connects you to everything? I love it. Yeah. So I do want to know how, like, is there a case study or someone you've worked with that was really struggling with their message that you can share how you helped them break through that?
Well, oh boy.
And if there isn't someone specific, because I know I asked that question, like 10 people jump into your head at the same time, and it's like, who do I pick? But if not, give me 2 or 3 tips that people can walk away now to get clarity on their messaging.
Sure. Well, I think that for me, it has been, I've worked at large corporations, and I've worked with artists, and I've worked with entrepreneurs. And I will say, in general, I've worked with authors. And I think that one of the really interesting thing about working with authors in particular is even understanding that they have a brand that they need to articulate and leverage to promote their books. And that is something that really has kept them from selling. I mean, a lot of times writers in particular will say, okay, I've written my book. Why isn't it selling? You know, and the answer is because you do have to market it. And every author's brand is going to be different. And you don't necessarily have to do a book reading. There are different strategies that you can apply. And so that is a group of people in general that I find have a hard time defining their brand. And so just helping with that is something that really makes a difference in terms of just even making a decision about how many books I want to sell, or
where am I selling these books?
Yeah.
Where am I going?
Yes.
Where am I selling them? Am I going to Barnes and Noble? Am I going to Amazon? Where am I going?
Right.
And you bring up a really interesting point, because I interviewed an author several weeks ago, and she writes under a pen name. It's similar to her name, but she writes under a pen name. And how difficult is it then to brand yourself as the author if you write under a pen name?
Yeah. Well, then that is the pen name is the persona, and
it's the persona, right? That's the one you have to brand. It's the pen name, not yourself.
Exactly. And a lot of times, authors can be very much behind the scenes. And so they have the opportunity to create a completely imagined persona and put it out into the world. But if the goal is to stay behind that persona, that pen name, then that is one strategy. However, if they want to be known and a public figure, then that is a different challenge. And so there's different strategies depending on what their goal is. And I think that's the really important thing. And I think that would be my first tip, is to get really clear about your goals for your business and your brand. Because if you don't have a goal, then you really can just kind of be all over the place and not be strategic and really not get the results that you want. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about getting results. So the first thing you have to do is you have to have some clear goals that are well defined, so that you can then build your strategy and then execute your tactics that support it.
I love that, because I always start with that. Let's start with the end in mind. What is your goal? Where do you want to go? Like you said, how many books do you want to sell? Start with the end, and let's move kind of.
How much money do you want to make? A lot of times people won't even know that. And yeah, there's nothing wrong. I mean, we're in business. So yes, we want to make money. So set your money goals too, because that definitely informs even who your customers are. You know, you don't know how much money people have in their wallets. However, what you do know is how much money you want to have in yours. And if you're in a business, that can be the difference between you selling to people who have a certain income, individuals, or a business, right? That's really the thing. It's like businesses, selling to other businesses can be very, very profitable. Selling to businesses, selling to government entities.
I changed my business model to do that, to sell to businesses.
There you go.
So Nicola has, and I'm so glad Nicola is here. She says, as an artist, this is such a big, scary world. I just do what I do. The selling it feels a whole different personality that's just not me. So this is very useful. I need to come out of my shell of just making what I make. Thanks. Yes, yes, yes. Results.
Yes, yes. Well, and Nicola, to your point, what's important is that you can stay in your lane and you can do your work, but you have to be willing to maybe get some help and pay for it. And that's another thing that a lot of people are really afraid to spend the money to get help.
Invest the money. It's an investment in your business and in your future. That's
exactly it.
To reach Tresa, I want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you. You can email her at 10thmuse@outlook.com. 10thmuse@outlook.com. Yep. So Tresa, any last words before we have to say goodbye?
Wow, it's so fast. So my third tip is you gotta get clear about your target audience. And actually, that's my first, second, and third always anyway. If you don't know who you're reaching and who you're marketing to, you are not going to reach anybody. You're not going to get the results that you want. So know your target audience, and I can help you with that as well. We can really drill down and get really clear on that. And it will make such a big difference in the results that you get. And that's whether you're an artist, an author, you are creating technology, you're selling products, you're providing services. It's really, really important.
What was the second tip again?
So the second tip was to,
clear on your goals.
Get clear on your goals. And then I think it was, I honestly, look, I know
I threw that at you.
I can give you the audience as my second tip, and I can give you a bonus.
Okay, give me a bonus.
So my bonus tip is that if you have to hire somebody. I think that was my second.
Yeah, that was your second tip. Don't be afraid to invest.
Hire somebody, invest to help you with your business, because it will return. It'll come back to you. It'll make all the difference.
Absolutely right. That was the other tip. Invest in the growth of your business.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 tips. And again, to connect with Tresa, go to 10thmuse@outlook.com. Thank you so much, Tresa. I know this time just goes by so quickly.
Yes,
I appreciate you being on the show, and we will continue this conversation. And let me see. I'm trying. I'm like
you can
trying
follow me on IG too. Muse with me.
Muse with me on IG. Excellent. Check her out on IG. Yes. She does some, I follow her on IG. Go follow her right now on Instagram. And I will see you soon. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Tresa.
Great to see you.
Tresa. I don't know why I keep saying Tresa. Tresa.
I know.
That was Tresa Chambers, and I am super excited that I had a chance to speak with her because branding and content creation is a huge part of your small business. It's a huge part of your success, and it's really important for you to be able to grow and develop your business. And Sean says that was a great conversation. As a writer and educator and wannabe host of a show, I learned a lot. Yay, that's awesome. So check out Tresa. You can go to IG. It's Muse with Me on IG. And you can also 10th Muse at outlook.com. So thank you all for joining. I am here, Alicia Curry. This is Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I am super excited to have you all join us. If you haven't yet shared this broadcast out with someone, share it with someone who you think could benefit from this information. We're here to serve, and we're here to grow your business as well. Don't forget, there are 3 ways you can get a shout out. You can either contact me, direct message me and say you want to be a guest on the show, so you can be on the show. That's one way. You can do a 30-second commercial for your business. So Tresa was talking about getting your messaging right. You can work out your messaging right here. Work out your messaging for your business right here. Send us a 30-second commercial, put it up for you. And then the third way, of course, is to write your name, your business name, and how people can best reach out to you right there in the comments, and I will put it up during a break like this. So make sure you add that to the comments, and that's a simple shout out that you can get. So I see you're tagging someone, Nicola. Thank you for tagging them to join in with the show. Next up, we have someone who I've known for many, many years. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever considered standing on that big red dot at a TEDx conference and being the speaker, inspiring thousands, even millions of people? So stay tuned. We have that coming up next. Well, welcome to Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I am your host, Alicia Curry, and I'm super excited for my next guest. And I have known Cece Espeut for several years now. In fact, she wears many hats. But today she is here to talk about getting on stage at a TEDx event. Have you ever dreamed of standing on that red dot? I know I have. In fact, behind my shoulder here, I have this photo, and I might show it, but this is Cece's time. But I have my vision photo of me at a TEDx event standing on stage, which actually happened when Cece was speaking on stage at TEDx. I had an opportunity to take a picture there. So let me tell you a little bit about Cece, and then I'll bring her up to talk to you. So Cece Espeut is a photographer and a TEDx speaker. She and I have known each other for several years now, and she has a masterclass that she is promoting to teach you all about getting on that red dot at TEDx. So welcome to the show, Cece.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
I am excited to have you here because I was on that journey with you to that TEDx stage for a whole, 10 months of that journey. So first of all, tell us what that journey was like, speaking on TED on that stage and then on that red dot, and then let's talk about your masterclass.
All right. So I remember when I got the call. It was a Sunday night. And it was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And for me, I had just paid all my bills that month. So, a strange number came across the phone, and I answered the phone, and I was like, what? And luckily for me, the person very quickly said, Cece, this is Eric from TEDx. And I about dropped the phone. And that was January. And I could not say anything until the official announcement was made. And then, of course, I told everybody. You were one of the first people that I told. It was an amazing, amazing journey. And it changed my life forever. Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely an exciting moment, and I was fortunate to be sort of behind the scenes and everything with you. We went to all the now TEDx Boca does a huge marketing. They really do a great job at marketing and everything. But I went to all these events that they had for the speakers. I was Cece's +1 to everything. So I got the behind the scenes VIP treatment to everything, and it was amazing. So just paint a picture for people who's never even thought about maybe being on that stage, thinking, I can't do that. But paint a picture for them what it's like, because you were a photographer. Mm-hmm. Thinking, well, I'm a photographer. What do I have to stand on a stage and talk to people? What do I have to do that? So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So every event is independently organized, and every event has a theme. And what you have to do is make your idea fit in with their theme. So luckily for me that year, their theme was reinventing yourself. So as a photographer, it would seem like I was a perfect fit, but it was really my story, what had gone on in my life years before, that was actually the perfect fit. And so they don't want to hear your story. They want to hear your idea. What is your idea worth spreading? And I think that's the biggest mistake people make when they apply to TEDx, is that they want to tell their story. TEDx is not interested in stories.
That's a big bomb right there, because you're absolutely right. What is my story? TEDx isn't interested in your story. It's like, what is the idea worth spreading?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Huge. Correct. And now you can come up with your idea and tell a part of a story, or your story, but like you said, they're not really interested in your story per se. And there are actually 5 ways that you can automatically get disqualified as a TEDx speaker. And
5 ways? Give me one.
5.
Give me one of the 5, because I know it's in your masterclass, so I don't want to give away all the juicy details.
Well,
but give me
actually, I have a free PDF work ebook. So if they contact me, I'll send it to them. But number one is I'm a motivational speaker. I was like, no.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care if you're an inspirational speaker. They do not care.
Wow.
If you come up with telling about, I like to call it how great thou art. We started in my parents' garage,
basement. Yeah,
in the basement, and we started with $5. Like, no, who cares? Those are not ideas worth spreading. So yes, they will not. Automatically, as soon as they see that, boom, you're out. Not even consider.
You're getting a lot of love on Facebook. Say love, Cece. So let me ask you about this masterclass then. We've already given one tip, and you said you have a free PDF that we're going to share. How did this masterclass come about that you're teaching now?
Well, I did my TEDx event in 2018, and this is 2021. I still get 2 to 3 calls every week with people asking, I applied, I didn't get accepted. What can I do? Right? That's us together. Yes.
I found it. I pulled it off my shelf.
Right. And so the masterclass came about as a way to get all of us together and then just start looking at the application and answering the questions. Because I've seen people, one of the applications says, in 2 sentences, explain your idea. And somebody will send me 5 pages of their idea. They asked for 2 sentences. And that's really what they want, 2 sentences.
So it's basically your experience, because I want people to know this too. TEDx Boca, even though you stepped on that stage, you had been behind the scenes at some of these TEDx events for several years. So you got to see the inner workings of what it is, what it takes, and what they're looking for, and all of that. So coming, you're not just like, all right, I did this thing and now I'm an expert at it. It's that I was in the system for several years. Right. I did get my shot on the stage because I applied, I learned, and then I applied and I got it. But it's not just, oh yeah, I applied, I got it, and now I can teach you how to do it.
Right.
You were for several years, you were behind the scenes learning. So I want people to understand that too.
Right. And that's one of the key things, is that if you want to know something, the best way to know something is to get in there and do it. And so I volunteered for 2 years with TEDx Boca and then applied. And they didn't even know that I had volunteered. It was just that I understood what they were looking for and how it worked. And so when I applied, then they were like, oh, okay, this is worthy, Right.
Yeah, because they didn't even know that name on the application, that it was tied to you, because then when you showed up, it's like, oh, that's you. So yeah, so she has some tips, some tricks, some things that that you're thinking you're just reading the application and answering the questions will be enough, but there are some things that you don't know that is disqualifying you, that you need to know. So this is how you can get in touch with Cece to find out more about the masterclass. So go to Espeut, ESPEUT, that's her last name, .cc@gmail.com, or call her 786-505-8616. Now, tell us, when is the masterclass? How long is the masterclass? And what is the fee for the masterclass?
All right. The next masterclass is April 11th, which is this
April.
I'm sorry, August.
Oh my God, it's been a whole year.
Okay. I don't know why I'm saying April. It is August 11th. August 11th. And that is going to be, that's next week. It's at 7 p.m. Florida time, Eastern time.
Standard
All right. Now, when I was doing this, I wasn't even thinking California or all these other places. If that's a problem, just send me a message, and just let me know. Well, we can work something out.
She's so flexible, guys. She's like, she'll work with you. She'll work with you.
I definitely will. Now, the masterclass, it's $197, and that is for the first 90-minute session. And yes, we can work together afterwards, but after that 90 minutes, you will be able to decide, hey, this is for you, or this is not for you, or you want to go further. I've seen so many times where people have come back to me and said, wow, I didn't know. And then they'll say, give me a minute, I'll be back, let me rework some things. So it's just a really, really fun class. We'll do a deep dive into your idea and see if it fits the parameters of the talk that you want to apply for. So,
because there are TEDx talks all over the country happening all the time. So just because you've missed one opportunity that it's closing on the 10th, and you're like, oh, the masterclass is on the 11th, but the one I want to do is the 10th. There are others that are always coming up. So,
yes, absolutely.
Do a search, Cece can help you with that, doing a search, finding the ones that fit you, and listen, travel is back on. People are actually traveling again. So,
Right.
so don't think that because the one down the street from you is closed, that there isn't one, not too far away that you can't get to. So consider that as well. So Cece, tell me, what is your superpower? Other than making people look amazing. Listen, some of the photos that you see of me, if you follow me on social media, some of those photos have been taken by Cece. So aside from taking amazing photos, what is your superpower?
Making people feel comfortable. Making them feel comfortable, making them feel that they can do things. I just spoke to a really amazing young lady. She is in the doctoral program, the PhD program at University of Miami, doing COVID research. And when we were talking about TEDx, she said, "Oh no, only smart, intelligent people are on the TEDx stage." I was like,
no, they took me. No.
They took me.
You're horrible. No, listen.
She's doing COVID research.
And she doesn't think that she can qualify. You see, this is the thing. We disqualify ourselves for so many things without even taking a shot at it. Mm-hmm. We assume that we're not good enough. We assume that we're not right enough. We assume, come take the class, take the master class, figure out what your idea is, and then go after it. Because you could think, well, you know what? I don't know anything. I don't have anything. But as soon as you start peeling back the layers of some stuff, you're like, oh, wow, I can share this idea about something. TEDx is all about ideas. It's not about what you've done, who you are, what you can do. It's about what idea do you have that you believe that people need to hear about. So that's the main thing about TED. And so, Tresa, I'm gonna hearken into what Tresa said. It is for everybody. It is for everybody. Right. And Tresa's like, no. It is open to everyone if you have ideas that you think are worth sharing.
Worth spreading. So I have to tell you this right quick. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and unfortunately she had a heart attack, right? And so her topic is how to have sex after a heart attack. Because trust me, you just can't go out there and just do what you've normally done.
You can't.
Now, if that's not an idea worth spreading, I don't know what it is. Exactly. And she is amazing. She is amazing. So
so don't discount yourself. And then Nicholas says, totally on the assuming we're not good enough. They don't mean me. Absolutely, Nicola. And then it's still targeted for people who have ideas worth spreading. You're absolutely right. It's targeted to people who have ideas worth spreading. I know that's Tresa that wrote that. So great tip. Stop assuming we're not X enough. Stop disqualifying ourselves. Great advice, Alicia and Cece. Thank you so much, Sean. Yes, don't disqualify yourself. Correct. Come to the masterclass. It's next. Is that Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, Cece. I'm going to put that up again because I got to get to my next guest. So it is to register, email espeut.cc@gmail.com, or you can call her. The number is going across on the screen. Do not disqualify yourself. Come to the class. It's $197. That's a small investment in finding out if you have an idea worth spreading. So thank you, Cece. I appreciate you. And I will be there at the class. So if nothing else, come get entertained by me and Cece, We like to laugh. And so we have, it's going to be a fun class. Oh, yes. So let me say goodbye, and then I will share that coming up. So thank you, Cece. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So that was Cece Espeut. So if you have any dreams of standing on that big red dot for a TEDx event, come to the masterclass, reach out to Cece. And again, it's espeut.cc@gmail.com. Earlier, we had Tresa, which was our guest, and she has an event that's coming up. You know what? I'm just going to bring her up really quickly to talk about that, and then we'll go to our next guest. So super quick, Tresa, take it away.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Yes. So I didn't get to tell you about my workshop, which is on August the 18th at 7 o'clock Central, and it's called Emerge: 5 Things High Achievers Can Do Now to Reignite Their Spark. That was the one thing that I think that I really wanted to make sure that I got in there. Thank you. And I can share the link in the Facebook group.
So it will be in the comments of this and also in the Facebook group. So 5 things
high achievers can do now to reignite their spark. So it's about getting over your limiting beliefs and other ways that you can move past whatever is holding you back from achieving whatever it is that you desire.
All right. Thank you, Tresa.
Thank you so much.
I'll make sure that that's added to your video. All right. So thank you all. And don't go anywhere because I have an amazing guest coming up, Veronica. We had some tech issues the last time, but she is back and I'm super excited for having her. So stick around and she will be back very shortly. Welcome back to Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and my next guest is Veronica MacKey. Veronica is a business consultant and connector with a passion for helping entrepreneurs succeed. She is the founder and CEO of Connectory, a company that specializes in meetings and events, strategically designed to attract sales and funding. In 2017, she created Perfect Pitch, a pitch competition for early stage startups held annually in Los Angeles. So I am super excited to welcome Veronica. Hi, Veronica. I hope she's not frozen.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, there you are. Yay.
Oh. How are you doing, Miss Curry?
Well. I am doing well. Alicia is fine. You don't need to call me Miss Curry. So Veronica, you started Connectory. How did that come about for you?
Well, I love Shark Tank, and I love helping entrepreneurs, and I love doing events. And starting 100 years ago when I was working for the Chamber of Commerce, I realized there were a lot of missed opportunities when people network, and I just kind of wanted to give more a chance to get connected to resources and funding. So that's what happened. Short end.
And what is
hello?
I can still hear you. You are breaking up a little bit. But where did the term Connectory come from? Like, you know, it's not typical, but how did you come up with that name?
Okay. Right. Actually, that was given to me by a friend. I was thinking I knew I wanted to get people together. First, I thought this might be a business network. And he said something like, you mean you want to start like a connectory? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to start. So that's where the name came from. So
that's great.
You were just born on this earth to give me that name, and then you can just disappear.
And then you could go away. Yeah. So your
right, exactly.
Your main audience they are people who have startup ideas, visions for something. Is that your main audience?
Right. Yes, yes, it is. Usually companies, they say from 0 to 5 years old, are getting started, looking for funding, looking, to kind of showcase their products and services. And a lot of people, they know they want to start a business. They know they're good at what they do, but they really don't know connecting. They don't have connections. They don't have resources. They don't know how to go about doing that. So that's where I come in. So I just to
Because
serve
that is,
to connect them to the people and the resources that they need.
yeah. Could you shift your camera a little bit to, I don't know if it's to your left or right, because it's cutting off part of your face. Just no, the other direction.
Oh,
Other direction.
like
There
this?
you
Is that
go.
better?
Now we can, yes, now we
The
can
other
see
direction.
most of it.
Okay.
Nope. The other way. The other way.
Okay.
We have like a delay
No,
too.
the other way. Like this.
The other way. Yeah.
Like this?
Yes. Now we can see.
Again.
Now we can see you. Nope. You're good. Stay right there.
This okay?
Yes, that's
Okay,
perfect.
good. All right. I won't breathe. Okay.
It's so important because as a small business owner, it's so important to know how to get connected to the right resources, because we don't always know what those resources are that we need.
Right.
So you have connections with the funding as well as the those looking for funding, correct? So that you can connect them.
Yes, right. I'm a business matchmaker. So my job is to try to bring those two entities together. We have people who are going to make good investments, and we have companies who are looking for funding. So it might not necessarily be an investor. It could be a sponsor, or it could be a lender, or it could be someone who's just looking for clients. So those are all the different ways we can get funded.
That's interesting, even for clients. So it's not just connecting you to the business resources, but it's also getting you to the clients, which is why, again, this show has so much synergy, because some of the other guests could also help amplify your voice, clarify your message, so that when you're looking for clients, when you come to someone like Veronica and you can now say, well, this is who I'm looking for, either as a sponsor or as a investor or as a client. So so I hope you stay connected to all these ladies that are on the show. So Veronica, what, you said you like Shark Tank, but what do you believe your superpower is?
My superpower is getting people to open up. And for some reason, people feel, even strangers will come up to me. They feel like they can trust me and just give me their deepest, darkest secrets. So, and I don't know if you may remember, but Barbara Walters was on, when she was doing the news program, she'd do the celebrity interviews, and she would ask them a question. They'd say, Barbara, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. And then what happened? The next thing you know, they're talking about that,
they're
right?
talking
So
about
she
it.
just approached it a different way. But for some reason, I'm able to open people up and get them to, see their greatness and see what's within them. I used to write resumes, and this lady was selling cars. And so I said, well, what did you do? I sold cars. So I'm like, well, I got to write more than that. You did, what did you do? And she thought about it and said, I don't know if this is important or not, but I was a second selling person in the whole franchise out of 6 dealerships. I'm like, duh, yeah, that's important.
Wow.
So just trying to get people to open up and realize what's within them. I'm good at bringing out the greatness that people don't sometimes realize that they have.
So tell me, someone who you've worked with, a client that you've helped get funding, how was that process? You can use them as a case study of what was their challenge, how were you able to help them through that, and what was the result?
Well, I worked with a few nonprofits, but one that combines a company called Generosity Water. And what they do, they help, they take funds and they build water wells in underdeveloped countries. And so fundraising is always something that's, top of their mind. Well, I just so happened to meet a company that made the reusable water bottles, and I got them together, and at their next fundraiser, they were selling those water bottles. So they were able to raise thousands of dollars. So this is just one example of just finding, I listen a lot and I try to find the right people, put the right people on the right bus, so to speak, so that they're going in the same direction. Yeah, right.
You know what I love about that is what I love about that is there are so many ways to do something, and someone like you that has a creative mind in the way that you think how to provide solutions for organizations is a good person to have in your hip pocket, because I think it was Henry Ford that said that it's either Henry Ford, don't quote me on this, if it's Henry Ford or Albert Einstein, but the same thinking that got us into the problem we're in, we can't have that same thinking to help us get out of it. So sometimes we only know one way to think, but if we have someone as a resource like Veronica that can see other opportunities to help you as a business owner, to help you as a startup, see that there are multiple ways to address this issue, and we just need to find it. One of my coaches always says it's not always the how. Sometimes it's the who. So it's not always the how, it's the who. So when you start looking at who can help me solve this situation, that's someone like Veronica MacKey that can help you solve a situation that you're probably sitting on right now, not wondering how can I get funding for this, or how can I expand my business. It's not the how, it's the who. So think about that. Let that noodle around in your brain for a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mary says Veronica is a great business connector.
Exactly. So Roger Hamilton, have you heard of him? Roger Hamilton?
Yes.
Have you heard of Roger Hamilton?
Yes.
Okay, great. So then he has everybody's a genius. So that is my genius, according to this program. My genius is finding the who.
Yes, so Roger Hamilton
what I focus on. Because at first I didn't know exactly, first I was focusing on the what, and that's not it for me. It's the who. So people person.
Yes. We focus so much on the what and the how. What is it I need to do and how am I going to do it? And we sometimes forget there could be a who involved in that can help you get to where you need to go, especially when we're talking about investing in your business. There might be a who that you can hire to help you get to where you need to go. A lot of times we're afraid to, back to what Tresa said, we're afraid to invest that money with someone else to help us get to the next level. So quickly tell everyone how they can get in touch with you. What's the best way that they can reach out to you, Veronica?
You can email me at veronica@connectory.com. That is connect with the KORY.com.
Okay, we have it going across in the ticker at the bottom. Veronica@connectory.com. And yes, we're having a little bit of a technical delay but I will have Veronica back again so that we can work out some of these tech issues and get her a really great, clean interview so that it's not as choppy, because we're having some choppiness happening. But I so appreciate you coming on. I know the last time we couldn't even get on, so I'm glad you made it on this time. And we will book you again to come on to make sure that you have a really your message is really clear and people can relate to it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate you being here. You're very, very welcome. So stick around. I just want to say say a few words to you ladies before we end, after I end the show. So don't go anywhere. Okay, Veronica. Thank you everyone. So that was Veronica MacKey. She is the founder and CEO of Connectory. And if you want to get in touch with Veronica to get connected to the funding, she did say she's a Shark Tank, an avid Shark Tank viewer. So she is passionate about helping you get connected to the right people for your business. So reach out to Veronica at veronica@connectory.com so that you can see if she can help you with your business achieving the goals that you need. So didn't I say that this show was jam-packed with awesomeness and 3 powerful women? So I really hope that you reach out to these ladies, join the Facebook group. If you didn't get that memo yet, you can come on over, join us. They're in the group, so you can reach out. So if you didn't get their information, reach out to them in the group. Go to facebook.com/groups/SBSSO, and that stands for Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I am your host, Alicia Curry, and the founder of the group. And don't forget, this August, Tresa has an event coming up. I put the link in the comments. So check out her event that she has coming up. Cece has the masterclass coming up for TEDx. Again, you can connect with them, find out more about the masterclass. It is next Wednesday, and it's all in the group. And then next, the end of the month, on the 27th, we're having our happy hour cocktail networking event that you don't want to miss. So if you are a part of the Small Business Saturday Shout Out group, all the info will be dropped in that group and in that group only. So if you want to be a part of our networking event, go on ahead and join the group so that you can be a part of that. And I appreciate you all for joining us today on this Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And until next time, which will be next week, Saturday, I will see you. Take care, be safe, and have a great, prosperous, productive small business. Mwah.